Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesus Junk Journals, and we are back to work on our Noah's Ark journal. And I'm going to do the Notepad today, which is this little piece of paper here. It says add-on kit, page 14. So we're going to cut this out, go on with that. We're going to need paper for it. So I've got several pieces here of assorted paper. You can use any kind of paper you want, of course. And we're just going to tear it into pieces as long as they fit within this. This is your header, and as long as it fits within your header and on the page of your album, your journal, you are good. So that's your limitation on size. So you cut this out, and then you take your scoring board, and you're going to score it in the middle. There's a little mark where the middle is. So I'm going to score that. I love making these little notepads. It's so cute, and it's just a super easy thing to do, well, I think. And nice little addition to your journal. Gives you a little bit more writing space if you didn't have enough. Okay, so then we fold it. And you're going to fold it in this way. You're going to fold it in half, and then you're going to fold both sides inward. They're going to tuck inside. They should come up just a little bit short of that middle fold, like that. And you're going to need, let's see, some paper. I've got my tearing ruler here. I'm going to tear all the sides off of these. I've got some plain paper. I've got a piece of graph paper. I've got a piece of notebook paper, and then some of that paper where I sprayed coffee through a stencil. So that is what I'm going to tear up. Those are not for the journal. Those are notes. So I'm going to just tear the edges off. Let's see if I can. All but, whoops. No, that's different too. These three are all, or these two. Is that just one piece of paper? Yeah. That's some heavy copy paper. I use it to do the jelly plate printing. It's a really, really nice grade of copy paper. I think I want about to there. So let me put a little fold there, and then I might be able to get this piece here. It might be one too. I have a feeling. So let me fold this in half, put a little crink there so I know where it needs to go. And then I'm just going to eyeball where that is. Yeah. Those pieces are a little long. Let's see if these will fit. Let's see. Oh, those need a little trim off the bottom. And instead of using the tearing, should be plenty. And then I'm going to mix them up. And then I'll try to put all the edges that didn't get torn up at that end. Like that. And then you just take your paper and you get it inside of the, whoops. Get it inside of the header, and I'm going to center it, and then I think maybe, no, I'm not going to trim it off. It'll be fine. All right, so let me put a clamp on it, and then I'm going to get out my crocodile. If you want to make one of these, you don't have to have a crocodile. You can do it with a regular hole punch. It'll just take a little bit longer because you'll want to punch a couple of pieces of paper at a time, and then you're going to punch 2 holes. And so this makes a big one and a little one, and I'm going to use, I think I want the little one. So I'm going to turn it over, and you can set these so that it's the equal distance from the edge. So I've got mine set. Here's the big side over here. You just move it with that, and whoops, you just put it in there, and you can, it's got a hole in it so you can see the paper come out. and center it. Actually, I'm going to move it just a little bit further up. About there, and then center it from side to side. Got the paper out of it. And then the other side is going to be exactly in the same distance from the end. And make sure it's centered side to side, and then punch it. And then I need to get a piece of ribbon. And it's going to go in from the front. And over to the other side. Like that. And then you just want to find a place in your journal that it will fit. And I am going to put it on this page that I don't like. But I don't like it. It's green and blue, and this is pink. So I'm going to add some scraps to it. So. Okay, so that gives me the edges that are pink, and then this will cover the middle part like that. Yeah, that's a lot cuter. Okay, so then all I need to do is glue this in, and I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac because of the ribbon on the back of it. And put that in, and then I'm going to put a clamp on it just to make sure it glues really well. And set that aside. Okay, that leaves us with the altered paper clips. We can do that. So I'm going to cut these out and ink them. Don't ink these pieces, just ink these pieces. And then I will be back. Okay, I am back. I've got them cut out and inked. And these are cut out. We have to score them. And there's a little dotted line on the middle of these. Hope everybody's having a great craft day today, making something or watching people make something and learning how to do something new. I've been doing that just to get inspired to do some new things and maybe do some old things that you forget about. There's so many things you can do, you forget all of them. So I watched a lady named Kay Comer. She makes these really grungy, I love that style, with a lot of stuff everywhere. And I thought that I would like to do that. And I'm going to go back, and one of these days when I have a chance, I'm going to make a video of enhancing a journal that I've already made and just adding to it. I always think I'm going to do that, and then it doesn't pan out. But I have all of my journals except for one. I gave one away. thinking that I would make another one of, I think it was Luke, and I need to make another one. So I'll have a complete set because I do refer back to them a lot. There we go. So all we have to do now is fold them. Ooh, that didn't go on the fold very well. But I can line it up at the bottom. It doesn't matter because this will be on one side of the page and that other side will be on another side of a page. But if you want them to be exactly right, you can force them down with a bone folder and that'll make them perfect. So we've got our pairs of animals on altered paper clips: deer, lions, goats, chickens, camels, donkeys, leopards, and rabbits. So more animals. I tried to give you guys as many animals as I possibly could. And you can always find others and add them to it as you go. If I left out your favorite. I tried, boy. This was a little bit of a challenge, let me say that, of finding pairs of animals. Okay, so now I need 4 paper clips, and then super easy. All you do is you put your paper clip on this middle piece, center it, and actually you're going to want it to stick up because we're going to put ribbons on these. I think they look better with ribbons. So that's how I'm going to make mine. Small paper clips will work, but these work better. And, oh, what did I just say? Pull it up from the edge. Let me get a cutting board because I'm going to cut a little slit in these so that I can put the paper clip through. So right here in the middle, just kind of, you can guesstimate. If you go too far, it's okay. It's better to cut too much than not enough. And then you'll be able to poke your paper clip up through that. Okay. And then you just take your paper clip and you put your glue all over it. And try to get the edge really well, because if you don't get that glued down, it can catch your page when you're trying to use it, and it's just kind of an annoyance. And then we're going to try and get this paper clip to come through. Yes, like that, without getting glue on my fingers. And then center it, and then shut it, and you just hold on to it for a little bit and let it glue really well. And then you move on to the next one. People, sometimes I do crazy stuff. I've just kind of been self-taught on a lot of things. And of course, I was an art director for a few years and worked at a personal expression company for over 30 years. So I do have experience, but it's not in junk journaling. And so there's certain things about junk journaling that I just tried to figure out on my own. And I've had people very kindly comment on the video, hint here or there about how to do something. I always feel so dumb when they tell me. It's like some things are so obvious and I missed them, but I really appreciate that. So if you see me doing anything that you know a better way to do it, please let me know. I got my scoreboard, I remember, and I didn't have it marked or anything, and I was having a hard time finding my lines, and somebody just made a mention that she said, take your black Sharpie and just go down the lines on the inch markers, and that will help you. And that was a huge help. Anyway, things like that, that I felt like I probably should have known, although I don't know how I would have known it necessarily. But I know there's all kinds of, there's people who do stamping. I am not a stamper. I do not know what I'm doing. I just stamp, but I'm sure there's better techniques and things. And everything has the best way to do it, the best practice. And so if you are from a group of whatever the thing is, stamping or gluing or stapling or whatever you do, okay, that one didn't want to cooperate with me, so I'm going to have to get my hands glued. push it back a little bit. And then center it. And as long as it doesn't show around the edges, you're good. I'm going to pull that back where I want it in the middle. And hold it for a bit to glue it. And then the donkey camel one. So of course the animals are the fun part of the Noah's Ark story, but it's also a type of Christ and salvation and how God has provided salvation for everyone, but eventually that'll be too late, and you have only a certain amount of time before you die to accept Christ, and then it's too late. And He's made a way, just like He made a way for Noah, as is the illustration. So there is a serious message to the Noah story. And of course, it's a very serious, you know, we always think of the animals and the cute little ark and everything, but I think I didn't put any of the illustrations, but over the centuries, people have painted the very gruesome picture, too, of people being left behind and drowning. There were a couple of paintings I saw that were just horrific. It's like, okay, there you go. That is what really the real story of that is. So don't forget that part of it. Okay, so we have our 4 paper clips. All right, I'm going to add that to our collection of ephemera. And I think that that is it as far as pieces from the kit to put together. So now I'm going to end the video, and then I will come back and we will begin to make it into the final journal. I've got to pick my journal cover and all of that good stuff. So I will see you on the next video, and we'll get going on that. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.